Picture this. You're standing on the edge of a Martian crater, the red dust swirling under your boots, the vast unknown stretching out before you. One step barely a foot forward could redefine everything. That's what a hug is. Not some fluffy, sentimental gesture, but a moment that can shift the trajectory of your life, your connections, your entire damn existence. I'm Elon Musk, and I've spent my life chasing the impossible, building rockets to pierce the heavens, cars to outrun the past, and AI to unlock the future. But let me tell you something. None of that matters if you can't master the smallest moments. A hug, it's not just arms wrapping around you, it's a mission. It's a chance to show the world who you are, your courage, your fire, your ability to connect in ways that echo across time. And I'm here to tell you, if you fumble that moment, you're not just missing a hug, you're missing your shot at the stars. Let's rewind. I wasn't always the guy launching Falcon rockets or dreaming of cities on Mars. I was awkward, overthinking every move, second-guessing every glance. I remember this one time early days before SpaceX, before Tesla. I was at a conference, surrounded by people who seemed to glide through conversations like they were born for it. A woman, sharp, confident, came up to me, smiled, and gave me a hug. Not a big deal, right? Wrong. I froze. My brain went into overdrive. Is this a friendly thing? Should I hug back? How long is too long? By the time I figured out what to do, she was already pulling away, and I was left standing there like a malfunctioning robot. That moment haunted not because of her, but because I realized I'd let a chance slip, a chance to connect, to show confidence, to be present. I swore I'd never let that happen again. Here's the truth. Life isn't about the big wins, the IPOs, the headlines, the viral moments. It's about the tiny electric seconds that stack up to make you who you are. A hug is one of those seconds. It's a pulse of human connection, a signal that says, I see you, I'm here. And how you respond, that's your chance to define the narrative. Will you be the guy who hesitates, who overthinks, who lets the moment crash like a failed rocket landing? Or will you be the one who steps up, who owns it, who leaves her thinking about you long after the room clears? I've built my life on betting everything on those moments. When I started SpaceX, people called me crazy, said we'd never get a rocket off the ground. But I didn't wait for permission. I acted. And every time I've dared to act, the universe has rewarded me. Think about it like this. A hug is like the first stage of a rocket launch. It's the ignition, the spark that sets everything in motion. Get it right, and you're on your way to orbit. Get it wrong, and you're stuck on the launch pad watching someone else soar. I'm not saying a hug is going to land you a soulmate or solve world hunger, though. Hell, maybe it could. What I'm saying is that it's a microcosm of life. It's a test of your ability to read the situation, to act with purpose, to show up as the best version of yourself. And if you can't handle a hug, how are you going to handle the bigger moments, the ones that demand everything you've got? Let's break it down. A hug isn't just physical. It's a signal, a data point, a chance to communicate without words. When she leans in, she's not just saying hello, she's testing the waters, gauging your confidence, your warmth, your ability to meet her where she is. And you've got a split second to respond. Not with words, not with some rehearsed line, but with your presence, your energy, your audacity. I've spent years analyzing systems rocket trajectories, battery efficiencies, neural networks, and I can tell you the human system is the most complex of all. A hug is a node in that system, a fleeting chance to create a connection that could ripple out forever. Miss it, and you're not just missing her, you're missing a piece of yourself. I want you to think about the last hug you got. Maybe it was quick, a friendly pat at a party. Maybe it was longer, her arms lingering like she didn't want to let go. Now ask yourself, did you show up? Did you match her energy, or did you pull back, unsure, afraid of looking foolish? I've been there. Early on, I was so focused on not screwing up that I screwed up anyway. I'd hug too fast, or too stiff, or I'd overthink it until the moment was gone. But here's what I learned. The universe doesn't care about your fears. It cares about your actions. Every time you hesitate, you're telling the world and yourself that you're not ready for the big leagues. And I'm here to tell you, you are ready. You just need to act like it. This isn't about hugs alone. It's about seizing every damn moment that comes your way. When I started Tesla, we were bleeding cash, the prototypes were failing, and the world was betting against us. But I didn't wait for the perfect timing. I pushed forward because I knew that every second of doubt was a second we weren't moving toward the future. A hug is your Tesla moment. It's your SpaceX launch. It's your chance to say, I'm not here to play small. I'm here to change the game. And the crazy thing, when you start treating these moments like they matter, they do. You start to see opportunities everywhere, not just in hugs, but in conversations, in risks, in the quiet seconds where life asks, are you in? Let me paint you a picture. Um, Imagine you're at a networking event, the kind where everyone's trying to look important. Someone approaches a woman, maybe a colleague, maybe someone new. She smiles, opens her arms, and hugs you. In that moment, the room fades. It's just you, her, and the choice you make. Do you give a weak, half-hearted pat, signaling you're checked out? Do you freeze, letting your nerves take the wheel? Or do you step into it confident, present, matching her energy like you're landing a rocket on a dime? That choice, that split-second decision, can change how she sees you. It can change how you see you. I've had hugs that felt like nothing at the time, but later I realized they were turning points moments where I showed up or didn't, and the ripple effects shaped my path. Here's where it gets real. I've spent my life chasing first principles, breaking things down to their core truths. The core truth of a hug, it's a chance to be human, to be bold, to be unforgettable. When I founded XAI, I wasn't just chasing AI for the sake of it. I was chasing the truth of what it means to be human, to connect, to push beyond our limits. A hug is part of that truth. It's raw, it's real, and it's yours to own. I've had moments where a single hue handled with confidence, with presence sold to partnerships, friendships, ideas that changed the course of my work. And I've had moments where I botched it, where I let my head get in the way and I paid the price. The difference? Action. Always action. So, what's the mission? Start seeing every hug as a launch window, not just with her, but with life. Every time you step into a moment, whether it's a hug, a handshake, or a chance to speak up, you're building the muscle of courage. You're training yourself to be the person who doesn't flinch when the stakes are high. I didn't get to where I am by playing it safe. I got here by betting on myself, even when the odds were laughable. And I'm telling you, bet on yourself. The next time she hugs you, don't just hug back on it. Show her you're not just there, you're there. Let her feel your strength, your warmth, your unshakable belief in your own worth. Because when you do, you're not just igniting attraction, you're igniting yourself. I'm not saying it's easy. Hell, I've spent years rewiring my brain to stop overthinking and start acting. But every time I've leaned into a moment, every time I've chosen courage over comfort, I've grown. I've built rockets that touch the stars, cars that redefine what's possible, and companies that challenge the status quo. And it all started with moments like these, moments where I decided to show up. So here's my challenge to you. Don't let the next hug pass you by. Don't let the next opportunity slip through your fingers. Life is too short, too wild, too full of possibility to play it safe. Step into that Martian crater, take that leap. The universe is waiting, and it's ready to reward you. All right, let's get real. You're not just hugging someone, you're navigating a system, a complex, messy, beautiful system called human connection. And if you want to master it, you've got to think like an engineer. I'm Elon Musk, and I've spent my life breaking down impossible problems, rocket trajectories, battery chemistry, AI neural nets. When a SpaceX booster blows up, I don't cry about it. I dig into the data, find the signal in the noise, and figure out what went wrong. A hug? It's the same deal. It's a burst of data duration, pressure, body language, and if you misread it, you're crashing your mission before it leaves the launch pad. But if you decode it, right, you're not just connecting with her, you're rewiring your own destiny. Let's talk about failure for a second. Early on, when I was still figuring out this whole people thing, I was terrible at reading signals. I'd get a hug, and my brain would short circuit. Um, is she being polite? Is this a friend thing? Am I supposed to do something? I remember this one time at a tech meetup in Silicon Valley, a woman, brilliant, sharp, the kind of person who could keep up with my brain, gave me a hug. It wasn't quick. Her arms lingered, her smile held. I thought, okay, this is just a nice gesture. So I gave a quick pat and pulled back like I was dodging a meteor. Later, a friend told me she'd been dropping hints all night. I'd misread the signal, and I'd blown it. That stung not because of her, but because I'd let my own uncertainty ground my rocket before it could fly. Here's the first principle. A hug is a signal, and signals carry truth. When she leans in, she's not just saying is sending a message. Maybe it's, I'm comfortable with you. Maybe it's, I'm curious. Maybe it's, I want you to step up. Your job isn't to guess, it's to analyze. Like an engineer debugging code, you've got to strip away the noise and find the pattern. I've spent years honing this skill. When a Falcon 9 lands on a drone ship, it's not luck, it's thousands of sensors feeding me data, telling me exactly what's happening. A hug is your sensor array. The way her arms wrap around you, the way her body shifts, the way her breathing changes, it's all data, and if you learn to read it, you'll never be blindsided again. So let's break down the signals. I've identified 4 types of hugs, each with its own signature. Think of them as flight profiles for your mission. First, there's the friendly pat. This is the quick 1-2 seconds tops. Light contact, maybe a couple of pats on the back like she's saying, hey, good to see you. It's the handshake of hugs, warm but platonic. I've gotten these at conferences, team meetings, even from strangers who just like the vibe. It's her saying, you're in my orbit, but we're not docking yet. Misread this, and you'll come off too eager or too cold. Get it right, and you're laying the foundation for something more. Next up, the firm hug. This one's got weight, her arms wrap tighter, the embrace lasts maybe 3 or 4 seconds. There's a sense of comfort, familiarity, like she's not just greeting you, she's with you. I felt this from colleagues after a big win, like when we nailed the first Tesla Roadster prototype. It's not necessarily romantic, but it's a signal she trusts you. Blow this one, and you'll seem distant or insecure. Nail it, and you're signaling you're someone she can rely on. Then there's the lingering embrace. This is where things get interesting. She holds on longer, 5 seconds, maybe more. Her body relaxes, maybe presses closer. You feel her breathing slow, her hands resting on your back. This isn't just a huge, it's a moment. I've had these rare but unforgettable where the air shifts and you know something's happening. She's testing you, seeing if you'll match her energy or pull away. Misread this and you're stuck in the friend zone. Get it right and you're igniting a spark that could burn for years. Finally, the intimate embrace. This is the holy grail. She leans in fully, maybe rests her head on your shoulder or neck. Her breathing's noticeable. Her hands might even trace your back. This isn't a casual move, it's a signal of trust, attraction, maybe something deeper. I felt this a few times in my life, and let me tell you, it's like the moment a rocket hits orbit. Everything aligns, screw this up, and you'll break the connection, handle it with confidence, and you're not just in her mind, you're in her universe. Now, here's where most people crash. They don't analyze, they react. They freeze, or they overthink, or they let their nerves take the wheel. I've been there. When I started SpaceX, we lost 3 rockets in a row. 3. Each failure was a gut punch, but I didn't give up. I went back to the data, found the flaw, and fixed it. A hug is no different. If you misread it, don't beat yourself up, learn. Ask yourself, what did I miss? Was it the timing, the pressure, the way she looked at me after? Every hug is a test flight, and every failure is a chance to get better. Let's talk about how to approach this like an engineer. Step 1, observe. When she hugs you, don't just feel see. Notice the details. Is her grip light or firm? Does she pull back quickly or linger? Is her body angled away or pressed close? These aren't random, they're intentional. Step 2, calibrate. Match her energy, but don't mimic like a robot. If it's a friendly pat, keep it light but warm. If it's lingering, let the moment breathe. Step 3, iterate. Every hug teaches you something. Maybe you held too long last time, adjust. Maybe you pulled back too soon, tree, staying present. This is how I built Tesla, SpaceX, XAI. Observe, calibrate, iterate. It's not magic, it's method. Here's a story. A few years back, I was at a Neuralink event, celebrating a breakthrough. A teammate, someone I'd worked with for years, gave me a hug. It wasn't quick. Her arms held tight, her smile lingered. I could have brushed it off, gone back to my usual over-analyzing self, but I'd been training myself to read signals, to act instead of freeze. So, a hug back, matched her energy, let the moment last a beat longer. When we pulled away, her eyes said it all. Respect, connection, something more. That hug didn't just strengthen our bond, it reminded me that I'd rewired my brain to show up. That's the power of decoding the signal. Why does this matter? Because life is a series of signals, and if you can't read them, you're flying blind. I didn't get to where I am by ignoring data. When we landed the first Falcon Heavy, it was because we'd pored over every sensor reading, every anomaly. A hug is your sensor reading. It's telling you where you stand, what she's feeling, what's possible, and if you can read it, you're not just reacting, you're steering. You're taking control of the moment, the connection, the future. So here's a challenge. Start treating every hug like a SpaceX mission. Don't just go through the motions, analyze what's the signal, what's the truth. And don't be afraid to fail. I've crashed rockets, blown deadlines, misread people, but every failure taught me something. The first time you try this, you might fumble, you might hug too hard, or pull back too soon. That's okay. Failure is just data. Use it, get better. Because the more you practice, the sharper your instincts get. And when you nail it, when you read her hug, match her energy, and leave her thinking about you, that's when you know you're not just living, you're engineering a life worth remembering. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every hug is a chance to learn, to grow, to get closer to the person you're meant to be. I've spent my life chasing the edges of what's possible on Earth, in space, in the human mind, and I'm telling you, the edge of possibility starts right here, in the simplest moments. So go out there and decode the signals. Think like an engineer. And when the next hug comes, don't just receive iTown it. The universe is watching, and it's ready for you to launch. Let's cut to the chase. Life doesn't reward the timid. It doesn't hand you victories for playing it safe, for second guessing, for standing on the sidelines while the world moves forward. I'm Elon Musk, and everything I've built, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, XAI, came from one principle: act with audacity. Not recklessness, not arrogance, but the kind of bold, calculated courage that says, I'm here and I'm not backing down. A hug, it's not just a moment of connection, it's a test of your nerve, your presence, your ability to seize the day. And when she leans in, arms open, you've got a split second to decide, will you fumble or will you launch? I'm here to tell you how to act, how to own that moment, and how to do it the Musk way. Because if you're not going all in, you're not in at all. Let's set the scene. You're at a launch party, maybe it's for a new product, maybe it's just life throwing you a curveball. She walks up, smiles, and hugs you. The room's buzzing, but for that moment, it's just you and her. Your heart's racing, your brain's trying to calculate 1,000 variables. Most people choke here, they hug back weakly, pull away too fast, or worse, freeze like a deer in headlights. I've been that guy. Early on, before I figured out how to channel my energy, I'd get a hug and turn into a robot, stiff, awkward, overthinking every move. I'd walk away kicking myself, knowing I'd let a chance slip. But I learned something. Hesitation is the enemy. Audacity is the fuel. And when you act with audacity, you don't just respond to a hug, you ignite something unforgettable. Here's the deal. A hug is your launch pad. It's the moment where you decide whether you're staying grounded or shooting for the stars. I didn't build SpaceX by waiting for the perfect conditions. We launched rockets in storms, with budgets bleeding, with the world laughing at us. Why? Because action beats perfection every time. When she hugs you, you don't need to be perfect, you need to be present. You need to show up with the kind of confidence that says, I've got this. And I'm going to show you how, step by step, for every type of hug we talked about, buckle up, because this is where you stop analyzing and start doing. Let's start with the friendly pat. You know, this one quick, light couple of pats on the back. It's the good to see you hug, the kind you get from a coworker after a big win or a friend at a barbecue. Most guys treat this like a throwaway, a box to check. Big mistake. This is your chance to plant a seed, to shift the dynamic from just friends to something more. Don't just pat and run. Lean in slightly, let your arms wrap with warmth, not like you're handling a fragile package. Hold it for a B-tone second, longer than she expects. Not creepy, not clingy, but enough to say, I'm not just going through the motions. Flash a smile as you pull away, lock eyes for a moment. It's subtle, but it's powerful. I've done this at Tesla events, turning a quick hug into a moment that lingers in their mind. You're not forcing anything, you're opening a door. Next, the firm hug. This one's got weight, like she means it. Her arms grip tighter, the embrace lasts 3 or 4 seconds. It's the hug you get after a shared victory or a long time apart. This is where most guys pull back too soon, afraid of overstepping. Don't. This hug is her saying, I'm comfortable with you. Your job is to match that energy and push it just a hair further. Hold the hug a second longer than she does. Don't let go first. Let your hands rest firmly on her back, not limp, not wandering. Feel her breathing, sync with it for a moment. When you pull away, don't rush. Look her in the eyes, maybe give a slight nod, like you're saying, we're in this together. I remember a hug like this after a SpaceX landing, our lead engineer, arms tight, full of trust. I held it, matched her strength, and it wasn't just a huge, it was a bond. You're not just hugging, you're building. Now, the lingering embrace. This is where the stakes get higher. She holds on 5 seconds or more. Her body relaxes, maybe presses closer. You feel her hands linger, her breath slow. This isn't casual, it's a signal. She's testing you, seeing if you'll step up or shrink back. Most guys panic here, worried about reading it wrong. Forget that. This is your moment to shine. Don't be the first to pull away, let her set the pace. Mirror her energy. If she's close, stay close. Let your hands rest gently on her lower back. Not too low, but enough to show you're not afraid of the moment. If she's leaning in, tilt your head slightly. Let your cheek brush near hers. It's not about forcing intimacy, it's about matching her fire. I've had moments like this, rare but electric, where a hug became a turning point. One time, at a Neuralink demo, a colleague's lingering hug told me more than words ever could. I stayed present, and it changed our dynamic. You're not just hugging, you're sparking something. Finally, the intimate embrace. This is the big one. She leans in fully, maybe rests her head on your shoulder or neck. Her breathing's deep, her hands might trace your back. This is her saying, I trust you, I'm open. Most guys freeze here, afraid of ruining it. Don't. This is your Falcon Heavy moment. Everything's aligned, and it's time to launch. Embrace her fully. Let her feel your strength, your warmth. Wrap your arms around her, not tight like a vice, but firm, like you're her anchor. If she's resting her head, tilt yours slightly to meet her. Don't rush to break the moment, let it breathe. When you pull away, keep the connection, a gentle touch on her arm, a steady gaze. I've had hugs like this that felt like the universe paused done after a Tesla milestone, where the hug said more than any speech. You're not just hugging, you're claiming the moment. Here's the Musk way. Audacity isn't about being loud or flashy, it's about being unapologetically you. When I started Tesla, we were out of cash, the prototypes were junk, and the experts said we'd fail. I didn't care. I acted. I bet everything on the dream. A hug is your dream in microcosm. Bet on yourself. Don't worry about looking foolish. Foolish is not trying. Every rocket I've launched could have exploded. Every hug you give could go wrong. But the risk, that's what makes it worth it. I've fumbled hugs, misjudged moments, walked away kicking myself, but every time I dared to act, I grew. I became the guy who could face a room of skeptics and say, we're going to Mars. Let's talk about a time I got it right. A few years back at an XAI event, we just unveiled a breakthrough. The energy was high, the room electric. A collaborator, someone I'd worked with, closely gave me a hug. It wasn't quick. It was firm, then lingering, her arms saying more than words. I could have played it safe, given a quick pat, moved on, but I'd learned my lesson. I hugged back, matched her energy, let the moment last. When we pulled away, our eyes locked, and I knew that hug wasn't just a hug. It was a bridge to something deeper. That's what Audacity does. It turns moments into milestones. Why does this matter? Because life is a series of bets, and every hug is a chance to go all in. I didn't build SpaceX by hedging my bets. I poured everything into it, money, time, sanity, and it worked, not because I was smarter than anyone else, but because I acted when others wouldn't. A hug is your chance to act, to show her you're not just there, you're there. To show yourself you've got what it takes. Every time you step up, you're training your brain to handle the big moments, the pitches, the risks, the dreams that keep you up at night. So here's the challenge. The next time she hugs you, don't think do. Match your energy, push the boundary just enough to show you're not afraid. If it's a friendly pat, make it warm. If it's firm, make it steady. If it's lingering, make it electric. If it's intimate, make it unforgettable. You're not just hugging her, you're telling the universe, I'm ready for more. And trust me, the universe listens. I've built my life on moments like these, moments where I chose audacity over doubt. You can too. So go out there, own the next hug, and launch yourself into a future where no moment is wasted. You don't build a legacy by chasing applause or stacking trophies. You build it brick by brick, moment by moment, in the quiet seconds where you choose to show up. A hug, it's not just a fleeting gesture, it's a spark that can set your life on fire. I'm Elon Musk, and I've spent my days pushing the edges of what's possible: rockets that kiss the stars, cars that rewrite the rules, AI that peers into the soul of the universe. But let me tell you something, none of that matters if you can't master the small stuff. A hug is your chance to ignite something lasting, not just with her, but within yourself. It's a microcosm of your legacy, a test of whether you're here to play small or to change the damn game. Act right in that moment, And you're not just connecting, you're building a version of yourself that the world will never forget. Let's zoom out. When I started SpaceX, it wasn't about one rocket, it was about a vision. Humanity as a multiplanetary species. Every weld, every line of code, every late night was a brick in that legacy. A hug works the same way. It's not about the hug itself, it's about what it represents. When she leans in, arms open, she's giving you a shot to show who you are. Your response, your confidence, your presence, your audacity is a brick in the monument of your life. Get it right, and you're not just leaving an impression on her, you're shaping the story of you. Get it wrong, and you're leaving gaps in the foundation, holes that could have held something extraordinary. I've had moments that taught me this the hard way. Early in my career, before Tesla or SpaceX, I was at a crossroads. I was awkward and tense, the guy who'd rather debug code than navigate a room. At a startup event, someone, a mentor, sharp and kind, gave me a hug after a long talk. It was warm, lingering, the kind that said, "I believe in you." I fumbled it. I pulled back too fast, muttered something dumb, and walked away. Later, I realized I'd missed the chance just to connect with her, but to show myself I could be more than the guy in my head. That moment stuck with me. It wasn't about her, it was about me failing to show up. I swore I'd never let another moment like that slip. Here's the truth. Every hug is a building block. The friendly pat, that quick warm embrace, it's your chance to lay the first brick. Don't just go through the motions, infuse it with warmth, a smile, a flicker of confidence. It's not about forcing attraction. It's about showing you're someone worth knowing. I've done this at XAI meetings, turning a quick hug into a moment that says, "I'm here and I'm real." That brick sets the tone for everything else. It's the foundation of trust, the kind that opens doors to bigger things, collaborations, friendships, maybe more. The firm hug, that's your next layer. She's gripping tighter, holding on for 3 or 4 seconds, signaling comfort, trust. This is where you solidify your presence. Hold it steady, let your arms convey strength, not hesitation. When you pull away, lock eyes, give a nod that says, "We're connected." I remember a hug like this after a Tesla milestone or a lead designer, arms tight, full of pride. I matched her energy, held the moment, and it wasn't just a hug, it was a shared victory. That brick strengthens the structure, showing the world you're someone who can handle the weight of connection. Then there's the lingering embrace. This is where the magic happens. She holds on longer, 5 seconds or more, her body close, her breath slow. This isn't just a huge, it's a moment that could redefine your story. Your job is to match her fire, to show you're not afraid of the intensity. Let your hands rest gently on her lower back, lean in just enough to feel the moment's pulse. Don't break it early, let it breathe. I've had hugs like this, like one at a Neuralink event, where the embrace felt like a conversation without words. I stayed present, and it built a bond that shaped our work. That brick is a cornerstone, a piece of your legacy that says, "I'm not here to play small." And the intimate embrace? This is the capstone. She leans in fully, head on your shoulder, hands tracing your back. This is her saying, "I'm all in." Your response has to match that vulnerability, that trust. Wrap your arms around her, firm but gentle, like you're holding the future. Let her feel your warmth, your strength. When you pull away, keep the connection a soft touch on her arm, a gaze that says, "This matters." I've had moments like this, rare but seismic, like a hug after a SpaceX landing that felt like the universe aligned. That brick crowns your legacy, a testament to your ability to show up when it counts. Why does this matter? Because your legacy isn't built in boardrooms or on headlines, it's built in these moments. When I founded XAI, it wasn't about one algorithm. It was about stacking small wins, conversations, risks, connections into a vision that could change the world. A hug is your small win. Every time you respond with confidence, you're adding to the story of who you are. You're telling her, "I'm someone worth remembering." You're telling yourself, "I'm capable of more." I've seen it in my own life. A single hug, handled right, led to a partnership that shaped Tesla's early days. Another, fumbled, taught me to never hesitate again. Each moment builds you upper, leaves you stagnant. Let's talk about a time I got it right. A few years back, at a SpaceX event, we just landed a Falcon 9 after a string of failures. The team was electric, the air thick with triumph. A colleague, one of our rocket scientists, brilliant and fierce, gave me a hug. It wasn't quick. It was firm, then lingering, her arm saying, "We did this. I could have played it safe, given a quick pat, moved on. But I'd learned to show up." I hugged back, matched her intensity, let the moment last. When we pulled away, our eyes locked, and I knew that hug wasn't just a celebration. It was a brick in our shared legacy, a moment that strengthened our mission. That's what a hug can do. It's not just a gesture, it's a catalyst. This isn't about chasing her approval. It's about chasing your potential. Every time you handle a hug with audacity, you're proving to yourself that you can handle the big stuff, the risks, the dreams, the moments that define you. I didn't build Tesla by doubting myself. I built it by betting everything on what I could become. A hug is your bet. It's your chance to say, I'm not just here, I'm here to make waves. And the crazy thing, when you start treating these moments like they matter, they do, you start to see your life as a series of sparks, each one lighting the way to something bigger. Here's the bigger picture. Your legacy is the sum of your choices, not the ones you make in spotlight moments, but the ones you make in the quiet, electric seconds where life asks, who are you? I've spent my life answering that question. When I started SpaceX, the world said it was impossible. When I pushed Tesla through bankruptcy, they said we'd crash. But I kept choosing to show up, to act, to build. A hug is your chance to make that choice, to show her you're not just another guy, you're the guy who's going to Mars. To show yourself you're not just dreaming, you're doing. So here's the challenge. Start seeing every hug as a piece of your legacy. The next time she leans in, don't just hug back, build something. Lay that brick with confidence, with presence, with the kind of fire that says, I'm here to leave a mark. Whether it's a friendly pat or an intimate embrace, treat it like it's the moment that could change everything, because it could. I've built my life on moments like these, moments where I chose to ignite something instead of letting it fade. You can too. Go out there, embrace the spark, and build a legacy that burns forever. This is it. The moment where you stop dreaming and start doing. Life isn't a rehearsal, it's a live launch, and every second is a countdown. A hug? It's not just a gesture, it's a mission. A chance to show the universe who you are, to seize the controls, and to steer your life towards something extraordinary. I'm Elon Musk, and I've built my world, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, XAIB, grabbing every opportunity, no matter how small, and turning it into rocket fuel. You've got that same power. Every hug, every fleeting moment is your chance to launch. So let's talk about your mission, to embrace every opportunity, to act with a kind of audacity that leaves a mark, and to become the person who doesn't just live, but changes the game. Buckle up, because this is where you take the helm. Let's get one thing straight. The universe doesn't wait. When I started SpaceX, we had no money, no reputation, and a dream everyone called insane. I didn't wait for the stars to align, I acted. A hug is your SpaceX moment. When she leans in, arms open, you've got seconds to make a choice. Will you hesitate, letting doubt ground your rocket, or will you launch full throttle into the unknown? I fumbled these moments. Early on, I'd get a hug and freeze, my brain spinning like a buggy neural net. I'd pull back too soon, mumble something awkward, and walk away knowing I'd missed a chance. But every miss taught me something. Hesitation is death, action is life. And when you act, you're not just connecting with her, you're rewriting your own code. Your mission is simple but brutal. Show up. Every hug is a test, a chance to prove you're not just another passenger in your own story. We've talked about the signals, the friendly pat, the firm hug, the lingering embrace, the intimate embrace. You know how to read them, how to respond with audacity. Now it's time to execute. Don't wait for the perfect hug, the perfect moment, the perfect her. Perfection is a myth. I've launched rockets with duct tape and prayers, built cars with teams working out of garages. The only thing that matters is that you move. The next time she hugs you, don't think, do. Match her energy, hold the moment, leave her feeling something. Because when you do, you're not just hugging, you're igniting a spark that could light up your life. Let's break it down. The friendly pat, that quick, warm embrace is your chance to start small but strong. Don't just slap her back like you're swatting a fly. Lean in, give it warmth, let your smile say, I'm here and I'm worth knowing. It's not about forcing a connection, it's about planting a seed. I've done this at Tesla launches, turning a quick hug into a moment that shifts the vibe. It's a small move, but small moves stack up. Think of it like the first weld on a Starship Tini, but critical to the mission. The firm hug is your next step. She's holding tighter, 3 or 4 seconds, signaling trust. This is where you show you can handle it. Don't pull back early, hold it steady. Let your arms say, I've got you. When you pull away, lock eyes, give a nod that says, we're in sync. I remember a hug like this after a Neuralink breakthrough, our lead researcher, arms strong, full of pride. I matched her, held the moment, And it wasn't just a hug, it was a pact. You're not just responding, you're building momentum, proving you can carry the weight of connection. The lingering embrace is where you turn up the heat. She's holding on, 5 seconds or more, body close, breath slow. This is her saying, I'm open, what have you got? Don't flinch. Stay in it, let your hands rest gently on her lower back, lean in just enough to feel the moment's pulse. Let her feel your presence, not as a try-hard, but as a force. I've had hugs like this, like one at a SpaceX event where the embrace felt like a shared orbit. I stayed present, and it changed the dynamic. You're not just hugging, you're creating a moment that echoes, and the intimate embrace, this is your all-in moment. She's leaning in fully, head on your shoulder, hands tracing your back. This is her saying, I trust you. I'm here. You've got to match that vulnerability with strength. Wrap your arms around her, firm but gentle, like you're holding the future. Let her feel your warmth, your confidence. When you pull away, keep the connection a soft touch, a steady gaze. I've had hugs like this, rare but earth-shaking, like one after a Tesla win that felt like we'd conquered time. You're not just hugging, you're claiming your place in her universe. Here's the hard truth. You will fail. I've failed more times than I can count. Rockets exploded, cars stalled, deals fell through. I've fumbled hugs, misread signals, walked away kicking myself. But every failure was a lesson. When we lost our first 3 Falcon 1 launches, I didn't quit. I dug in, found the flaw, and launched again. A hug is your rocket. If you fumble, don't sulk, learn. Ask yourself, did I pull back too soon? Was I too stiff? Did I miss her signal? Then try again. Failure isn't the end, it's the fuel. The more you act, the sharper you get, until you're not just responding, you're commanding the moment. Let me tell you about a time I nailed it. A while back at an XAI event, we just unveiled a breakthrough that felt like cracking the code of the cosmos. The room was alive, the team buzzing. A collaborator of our brightest minds gave me a hug. It started firm, then lingered, her arm saying, we're in this together. I could have played it safe, given a quick pat, moved on. But I'd learned to seize the moment. I hugged back, matched her energy, let the moment breathe. When we pulled away, our eyes locked, and I knew that hug wasn't just a hug. It was a spark that strengthened our mission, our trust, our future. That's what your mission is, to turn every hug into a spark that lights the way. This isn't just about hugs. It's about life. Every opportunity, every conversation, every risk, every moment that asks, are you in, is a chance to launch. I didn't build Tesla by waiting for permission. I didn't get to Mars by playing it safe. I acted, even when the odds were garbage, even when the world said I'd crash. And I'm telling you, act. The next hug is your chance to show the world and yourself that you're not here to coast. You're here to soar. You're here to build a life that's not just good, but legendary. So, here's your mission. Embrace every opportunity. The next time she hugs you, don't overthink, execute. Read the signal, match her energy, make it count. If it's a friendly pat, make it warm. If it's firm, make it steady. If it's lingering, make it electric. If it's intimate, make it unforgettable. And if you fail, good. That's how you learn to fly. Every hug is a step toward the person you're meant to be, the one who doesn't flinch, who doesn't wait, who grabs life by the thrusters and goes, I've built my life on moments like these, and you can too. One last thing, I want to hear your story. The next time you seize a hug, the next time you turn a moment into a spark, tell me about it. Share it with the world, because this isn't just your mission, it's ours. We're here to build a future where no opportunity is wasted, where every second counts, where every hug is a launch. So go out there, embrace the next moment, and let's make the universe proud.